I carry two phones on me. A lot of people don't, and I'm just gonna cut it simple. There's a few reasons why, but the main thing is just think about it this way. Most people that you encounter will either have an Android device or an iPhone device. And based off of that, they will typically tell you one of the devices is better just because. But most of the time, the people that are die hard for one of these devices, typically Apple devices, have never experienced the other. But there are a lot of Android users that have not experienced iPhones. Don't let me put that out there. But typically, there's not a lot of people that experience both ecosystems. They particularly pick one and think that that's the best one, which you know, I mean, in today's world, it's kind of like pressured to either be an iPhone person or an Android person. And iPhones are very mainstream. Androids are very, I gotta say, probably like, I don't know if I want to say businessy because like iPhones, you could do business on both. But I gotta say, really, I just want to experience both. And just, I think too many people limit themselves. And, you know, being a tech person, it's just cool to use too. It is so convenient. I cannot tell you. I mean, the most convenient thing I can do is like I'm scrolling on Instagram, watching YouTube. Right? You can multi-screen on an iPhone. Not on an iPhone, excuse me. You can multi-screen on an Android. Like I could have like one app open up here and then one app open down there at the same time. But it's just nice when I can just pull out one phone, set it right there when I'm on lunch, watch a video with my AirPod in, and then be scrolling through Instagram, text message on. That's just like the first thing that is just like the easiest thing to do. But not only that, when you have two phones, typically I recommend if you're going to have two phones is to have one Android, one iPhone, just because you can really get the best of both worlds. You know what I'm saying? Um, if you really, really like, if you're into tech and you kind of use both ecosystems, use both iPhones with other devices, use Galaxy with both, or not even ecosystems. Let's just say you have an iPhone and an Android. If you have both of them, you will come to the consensus. You will understand that there are things that the iPhone does better and there are things that the Android does better. And when you use them together, it makes your life a whole lot easier. Like, for example, um, gaming is good on both, but I think the iPhone takes the cake just a little bit more. Um, but screens, visually, Androids typically have a better screen display. I just like the way things look on Androids more. Pictures, Android can take good pictures, but iPhone's video quality is great. It's pretty much the best consistent video quality thing. It's easier to like do videos with an iPhone and edit. Well, as long as they're landscape videos, because for some reason iMovie still after decade does not support portrait videos, and I just think that's a little stupid. But you do have CapCut on Android, which is better than iMovie, but iMovie's more convenient, right? Um, you just there are things about both that are great, right? If I had to pick one, I'd go with the Android. Most people that use both Androids and iPhones will tell you that Android is better. Most of the time, if someone tells you an iPhone is better than an Android, they've never used $1,000 Android. Growing up, I only had Androids because parents were, I was poor, so we would always get, uh, cheap, shitty Androids that would not be great. And then you have kids come into school in like elementary, high school, they'll get like iPhones and stuff like that. I am 23, by the way. Just put that out there. I know I look older, but like I was in high school about like it's gonna be like 5 years ago, which is not that long. I just graduated college. Just put that out there, so that way you don't think like this man looks like he's 30. They did not have cell phones. No, the iPhone started getting popular when I went to high school. But anyway, the like the main people and the people I meet in my life, like not even in high school, but just the people I meet in my life, there are a lot of people that are iPhone users. And every single one of them follows the stereotype I've heard for my entire life for people who are iPhone users, which is basically Androids are laggy, they take bad pictures, they take bad videos, and as a lifelong Android user, I know that is inherently just not the case. If you are comparing $100 Android to $1,000 iPhone, the iPhone is going to win every time. But when you compare $1,000 Android to $1,000 iPhone, you get it that now that is a comparison, but a lot of iPhone users do not understand the power of a flagship Android because some of the stuff this thing can do. This is a Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. This is getting ready to be a 4-year-old phone that I daily drive. I literally have an iPhone 15 right here, a new iPhone 15 that just came out a few months ago, but I daily drive this phone from literally a few years ago. I am getting the Galaxy S24, by the way, Ultra, because this thing is definitely. I'm not gonna say I recommend this. Pound for pound, the iPhone 15 technically has better specs, but regardless, the fact that this is an Android flagship, it still has a lot of things that this iPhone cannot do. And I think, to put it simply, iPhone makes things easier to use, but Androids have a lot more things you can do. That's just because Apple tends to control every single thing you could do. Android, you can literally do everything you want. Like, the reason why there's so many Androids is because Android is like an open market. You can literally, Android is just, it's a free, easy operating system. I thought I just got a scratch on my phone, but no, it's just, anyway, there's already a bunch of scratches on it. But anyway, like, carrying two phones at starting off, the main reason why I do it is just to experience both ecosystems, and I highly recommend it. If you're able to, I'd recommend it. The cheapest way to do it is, if you have an iPhone, buy a Galaxy. Get like a S21. Get like a S21 Ultra. You can get one of those for, like, I guess, get a flagship Android from about, I'd say no more than like 2-3 years ago. For iPhone, for Android users, you can, I will give, the Androids we're getting now can last longer. Like, for example, the S20s, I think you could still use, that are guaranteed to be 4 years old. But, like, you couldn't use something like a, I wouldn't recommend using like a S9, but like you could still get away with like using an iPhone XS, which is kind of crazy. iPhones are built to last, and longevity, that's a factor. But I guess that's the reason why you could, like, but like I'm saying, there's benefits to both iPhones and Androids, right? And the main reason why I carry both is, well, at first, when I first started carrying both, I told people the main reason why I have an Android and an iPhone is to tell you an Android is better, and then people will just, their minds will be blown. But, as I use them more, I just know that there are things that I would use my Android for and things I would use my iPhone for, right? And um, a lot of times, the main reason why I started was because of work, having Google Voice on one and then having my SIM card in another. When you're virtually working and stuff like that, it's good to have two devices. That's typically why people who carry two phones do, unless they're a tech nerd like me. But when you actually like start developing like your your tech, when you start getting into tech, like I'm recording this on the iPad, I got a MacBook, but behind this is a Windows computer. Like I kind of have every sort of like operating system available to me, just because I'm a tech dude, right? And you can't really be all in and say you're into tech unless you kind of just go across the pond. And I think it's just fun. Like, I think it's fun. The iPhone is a very fun thing to play with, right? But, like, Androids can be fun too. But I feel like Androids for me are like my, like, like, Androids are a lot more, I don't know if I want to say serious, but like, there's a lot more like geeky or like not geeky but like businessy things. Like Androids, I gotta say, are better for business. You can do business stuff on iPhones, but Androids, 10 out of 10, just easy. Um, but getting into it, just talk. This is a little ramble that I'm just doing just because I felt like talking about it. This is sort of becoming like an Apple versus Android thing, and I record like a lot of my videos using my iPhone, and I edit a lot using my iPhone. That's just because, you know, iPhones have the benefit of like being able to They have some of the best video quality. You don't require a lot of editing. You know, with Android you could get good shots, but you gotta finagle with Android a little bit to get the best quality out of iPhone. It's very simple, but you are limited with iPhone, and a lot of people who have iPhones are limited, right? But because I have an Android, I don't really have any limits. I could do whatever the hell I want, and um, I do recommend it because it will feel weird at first, um, but then like you'll feel like you need to hold one and then you put one down and pick up the other. Holding two phones is like it's such a flex, and it's a flex too. um, it makes you feel important when you hold two phones. Now I'm not being arrogant or something like that, but like you just feel important because everyone typically has one and you have two, so you can just be like taking selfies from two angles. But it also works to be like when I'm out and let's say I'm controlling my speaker, I can have one phone do the speaker and then my other phone do something else, right? Like it is convenient to have two freaking phones. It is convenient, it is fun. I highly, highly recommend it. And I only have service on one. I have service on my Android. I don't have service on my iPhone. But iPhones don't really need service. The only reason why you need service on your iPhone is if you want to FaceTime for anywhere. And I guess if you have an Apple Watch, right? But iPhones don't really need service because, like, they function great with just internet because you can FaceTime with just internet, which is kind of like whenever you go into Apple Store and try to buy an iPhone, they will try to make sure you activate it. I think maybe because they get a commission in store for doing that. But if you just want to experiment, like you could get a decent cheap iPhone for like not that expensive. Like what is this? Yeah, right here. iPhone XS. This was my second iPhone that I had, and I rode this thing for about a couple years. And I bought this thing used, which is something Apple devices I highly recommend buying used. Because you can get them used for a really good price. This one you could probably get for like $200, and you get the entire Apple ecosystem really. Like between like as I've upgraded iPhones, I've noticed that there's not significant changes to the point where like you can still get the iPhone experience from a very old iPhone, which I highly recommend. And once you get the iPhone experience as an Android user, you'll be like, it's kind of fun. It's fun. I like having a little. This reminds me like having an iPod. iPhones to me are like iPods, bro. They're fun. Which I can't daily drive an iPhone just because there's way too much an Android can do that an iPhone can't do. But I see people. I think the reason why people like iPhones more is because it's basic. You don't have to do a lot. It's very simple. To put it plainly, iPhones are just very simple. Very simple, very straightforward. Not a lot to them. But if you really want to get the most out of life, I'd get an Android. But if you want to like get the most out of life, carry two phones, bro. Because it's gonna be good when you go on a trip. You're gonna want an iPhone to take pictures. Androids, like I said, can take good pictures, but iPhones picture and video quality is going to be a lot more consistent. It is. It just is. It just is. It just is. Okay. And I can say this because I'm an Android guy. Like, there's a lot of things I can say that other people can't say because they don't use both devices. Like, it kind of just gives you a little bit of an authority, too. Because I could be like, I have both an Android and an iPhone. And I could tell you, Android can do a lot of things iPhone can't. But I can also tell you that if you wanted to just take pictures, it's an iPhone. You can do it. But, I think I've kind of went in a circle. But carrying two phones, highly recommend it. Because not only is it fun, you can also formulate your own opinion about things. And, like, you could really figure out which device is better once you use both, right? Once you use both, you can see which one's better. Let's say you've been rocking an iPhone for a hot minute, right? Let's say you've been an iPhone. Try a Galaxy. Just try. It's not like you can't iMessage because you just keep the old iPhone you have. Because the main reason people don't switch from iPhone is because iMessage. But if you keep your iPhone, you won't lose iMessage. You won't lose it. The only time you lose an iMessage is if you trade in your iPhone. But if you keep your iPhone and buy a Galaxy, you can still iMessage. Literally, I have group chats that you can iMessage without a phone number. All you need is an email and an Apple ID. which you get by just setting up an iPhone. So really, if you need iMessage, FaceTime, and all that, you don't need a service on an iPhone. You could literally just keep your iPhone, get a Galaxy, and then when you start playing with the Galaxy, if you need to FaceTime, if you need a message, boom, boom, boom. It is rare that you're going to be... the only kind of thing you lose out on is if you don't have service, right? You can't FaceTime anywhere. But typically, let's say I'm on the bus. I'm not FaceTiming my girl when I'm on the bus. I'm probably calling her being like, hey, what's good, baby girl? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to be like, can you hear me? Like, in public. Like, it's going to be rare. It's going to be rare, especially today where internet is everywhere. I think it's going to be rare when, you don't have internet to do certain things. Like, the main reason why you need internet, in my opinion, going to and from work, because typically you have internet at work, is just listen to music. And listen to music, you can do that on both. There's not really a big difference. But, yeah. This was an unnecessarily long video about me talking about why I have two phones. And yeah. But I'd highly recommend, if you have an iPhone, get an Android. Like an actual Android. Don't get like a shitty $100 Android and then be like, oh, it lags. If you're into tech, I highly recommend, if you've been rocking, let's say you've been rocking with iPhones for a long time, get an Android. It will change your life. You will see things and be like, and you know what? If you're an iPhone user watching this video, I'm gonna blow your mind right here. First thing first, this is a Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. I can just pull out my pen. Let's say I'm in a, oh dang it, it didn't register right. Hold up. Let's say I'm just, okay, there we go. Let's say I'm just, I'm in a meeting. I forgot a pen. I could just whip out my phone. Let's just take a couple notes, right? But not only that, this phone also, this little thing has this S Pen has a little function on it to where, let's say I'm taking a selfie or we're setting my camera up, I can literally set my camera up and then use this little point and boom, it'll take a picture. I didn't press the look, my thumb is up. I'm gonna press the button on the S Pen. Boom. See? That's a cool little extra thing, right? Another cool thing about another cool thing about new Androids. I'm just showing y'all this because a lot of iPhone users, when I show them some of this shit, blows their mind. I'm gonna set this little setting on, right? I'm gonna set my phone right here, right? My Android. I'm gonna put it like that. Get my iPhone 15 Plus, which shout out to Apple for finally giving USB-C. That's the main reason why I got the iPhone 15, is because I'm like trying to move towards everything having the same charging port. Give it a second. Ooh. I still got it on, right? Wireless power share. Let's get that on, yeah. Now people gonna say stuff about this is why Androids don't work. Hold up, let me get this to work. Hold up. There we go. Wait, I just felt it vibrate. You gotta get the point right. Not sure where this lines up. I don't wirelessly charge anything, so I don't know where the wireless charge coils are. But you have to line them up. I'm gonna line them up. I think I have to set. It does say to set the Galaxy on a flat surface. We're gonna get this to work. We're gonna get this to work on camera. There we go. Look at that. I got it. See? It says it's charging. Hold up. See, look. See that little green icon up there? That means it's charging. I don't wirelessly charge anything, so I don't know where the wireless charge coils are. But let's say your homie's getting ready to lose, his phone is getting ready to die. You'd be like, homie, I got you, bro. You put your phone out, charge it up. Androids have great batteries as well, but iPhones have good batteries too. Also, this is a new thing. The Pro iPhones have it, but always on display, which is just like I could set my phone down and always know what time it is without having to lift it. It does have lift to wait, but It's just, it says that has notifications. You do get that on newer iPhones, but it's just a dimmer lock screen. But that's something you always have. You get a lot more apps on Android. You get a lot more customization on Android. Like, the thing with the weather and stuff like that, y'all got that recently, but there's more on Android that you could do. Like, you got the Google search right there. It's just, there is a lot. If you think you can do a lot with an iPhone, when you get an Android, blow your mind. If you're an Android user, and you had never used an iPhone, get an iPhone, man. There are cool things on the iPhone, man. Your picture, you could get some good. Snapchat will work like it's supposed to. TikTok on the iPhone is just better. Recording videos and stuff, it's fun. FaceTime, iMessage, experiencing some of that stuff for the first time is real dope. But like I said, there's fun to both Androids and iPhones. These are gift cards, by the way, so they're fun. I just put my case back on my Android because, well, Android, it's Galaxy. And they're not just, people say Android, but there's a lot of Androids that are good. You got Galaxies, you got Pixels, there's a whole world out there of Android devices. It's not just, a lot of iPhone users just say Android and be done with it, but that's because they don't know anything about the world of Android. Because I have both, I can tell you iPhone users, Android got some heat to it, man. Got some heat to it. But using two phones isn't for everybody. I think it's fun. I recommend trying it, and if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work. But I highly recommend just trying it. It's a fun thing. Shout out to my girl. She real pretty. But anyway, I've rambled off a while talking about why I have two phones. But yeah, I just want to do this video talking about it. Maybe I'll do another video talking about what. I think I want to do a video talking about 5 things that iPhone can do that an Android can't do, and then 5 things that Android can do that iPhone can't do. I think that'd be a fun video. But anyway, I'm probably going to do an unboxing of the Galaxy S24 Ultra when I get it, because your boy is saving that dinero to get that device. Also helps that tax return season is coming around. So anyway, let me stop. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.